The best solution for the Seattle Mariners to fill their second base hole. Let's talk about it. So we had briefly discussed this player in my last video going over trade scenarios, and I really think that this second baseman could really change the game for the Seattle Mariners. But now calling him a second baseman may not be the case because he is a Gold Glove winner as a utility player, but he is also mainly a left fielder. And that player is Brendan Donovan from the St. Louis Cardinals. So like I just said, I did briefly discuss this in my last video, but I kind of want to go into a little bit more detail on why he would be a perfect fit for the Seattle Mariners. And it was also very fitting that Adam Jude also had him in his 6 trade targets that the Seattle Mariners can do to go fill the second base hole. So besides the player that Brendan Donovan is, which we'll go to a little bit later in this video, I just kind of want to discuss what he is estimated to make and how the Seattle Mariners can get this trade done with the Cardinals. Now, besides the fact that Brendan Donovan is entering his prime years, he'll be 28 in 2025. He is going to be very affordable for the Seattle Mariners. He's only projected to make $3.6 million in arbitration this offseason. And as we have also discussed in previous videos with Mariners possibly making a deal with the Cardinals are definitely going to want young prospects, especially in the pitching department. So like Adam Jude brings up a possible trade with Emerson Hancock and Michael Morales and maybe a few other prospects and maybe an MLB player in there somewhere. I think that the Mariners can definitely get this deal done for very cheap since, like I said, the Cardinals are looking for younger players and they're also looking to shed some payroll. Now you have to keep in mind that his contract going into the 2025 season is only a third of what Jorge Polanco was going to make if the Mariners picked up that option. But besides the fact that he would be a super cheap player to pay this year, as well as the fact that this trade could easily get done with the Mariners farm system since the Cardinals are looking for that, it is also the fact that Brendan Donovan will be under team control through 2026 and 2027 as well. So you have him for 3 years as second base, which as we know is something the Mariners have not had since getting rid of Robinson Cano back in 2018. They've been kind of just having second basemen go in and out every single year. And with all due respect, we've seen how that has worked out. They are not a very good team at second base, and they haven't been since Cano left. So like we did a little bit in the last video, we're going to go over some of his career stats. As we know, he has a 127 WRC+, 118, and 115 over his 3 seasons at the major league level, with a 2.7, a 1.5, and his career best 3.2 WAR last season. Now, one thing to keep in mind is Brendan Donovan is not a power hitter. He is very much a bat-to-ball hitter. He has a career 280 average, as has not hit below 278 in a single season. He is actually improving in terms of power, though. He did have 5 home runs in his first season, 11 the next, and then 14 last year. On top of being a very good bat-to-ball hitter, Brendan Donovan is also a fantastic fielder. He won the Gold Glove for the utility player in the NL back in 2022 when he was a rookie. But now let's get into some of the numbers on what makes Brendan Donovan such a good fit for the Seattle Mariners lineup. So for those of you who don't know, Brendan Donovan is a left-handed hitter, and in his career against right-handed pitching, he has a 287 batting average. But Brendan Donovan is also very capable of hitting left-handed pitching. In 194 games against left-handed pitchers, he has a 259 batting average. That is in 290 ABs for those of you wondering. Now, in terms of his power, all of the power comes against right-handed pitching. All 30 of his career home runs are off right-handers. He does not have a single home run off a lefty. So now moving into a little bit of his splits, because like I said, he does play different positions. So I kind of just wanted to weigh in to see, is he better playing a certain position at the plate? Let's just kind of dig a little bit deeper. So as a second baseman, he has played in 116 games where he has a 254 batting average with 7 home runs and 48 RBIs. Now as a left fielder, he has 137 games played in left where he has a 273 batting average. So he definitely does a lot better when he is playing left field versus second base. But that being said, I think Brendan Donovan would be very capable of playing an everyday second base role, just so we don't have to deal with the platooning at second base between who knows how many players at this point. But in terms of where Brendan Donovan would slide into the lineup, I would personally put him in the 2 hole. I know a lot of people still think Julio should be in the 2 hole, but to me, Julio is much more of a 3 hitter. So to me, the top 5 would go as obviously if everyone is still here, it would be Victor Robles 1, Brendan Donovan 2, Julio Rodriguez 3, Randy Arozarena 4, and Cal Raleigh 5. Now, arguably, you can flip-flop Cal and Randy. It doesn't really matter, but either way, I think that's how the first 5 should go. And the reason I think Brendan Donovan should be somewhere towards the top of the order, besides the obvious that he is a very high average baseball player, against first pitches of an at-bat, he has a 386 batting average in 127 at-bats where he has swung at the first pitch. If that doesn't scream being towards the top of the order, I don't know what else does. I love when leadoff hitters swing at the first pitch. When JP is hot and he was leading off last year for the Seattle Mariners, he would just swing at first pitches and drive the baseball. So in my mind, Brendan Donovan is definitely the top of the order type player. I don't really think you want to put him at the 9 hole. He's going to get on base. He's going to set you up. He's going to set up Cal. Randy, Julio, all those players with getting on base, similar to Victor Robles. But now one other thing that I kind of want to talk about with Brendan Donovan is he definitely has that clutch gene. So for those of you that do not know, a high leverage situation is essentially a point in the game where it can affect the outcome. So this is an AB with the bases loaded and your team is down by 1 in the 8th inning. That is a high leverage AB. And in 272 plate appearances where he has been in a high leverage situation, he has a .304 batting average with 77 RBIs, 8 home runs, 38 walks, and only 25 strikeouts. He clears medium leverage and low leverage situations by a long shot with his OPS plus. He has a 135 OPS plus compared to an 84 OPS plus in medium leverage and a 102 in low leverage. So Brendan Donovan definitely has that clutch gene that the Seattle Mariners are definitely going to need, with bases loaded, 2 outs, as we know they love to get in those situations when they have bases loaded, nobody out, and then all of a sudden it's bases loaded with 2 outs, and hopefully Brendan Donovan can step up to the plate and be clutch like we know he is. So for these abundance of reasons, I think Brendan Donovan would be a perfect fit for the second base hole that the Seattle Mariners currently have. And he, like I said, the Mariners love it. He would be cheap. You would have him under team control for another 3 years, and he could be your everyday second baseman for that amount of time. They have the prospects to go do it. Let's stop prospect hugging and let's go out and get a player that we can trust at second base every single day. But please let me know what you guys think about if Brendan Donovan were to be the everyday second baseman for the Mariners, or if you think there is another option that the Seattle Mariners should really try pursuing. Otherwise, I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.